Hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. I'm Audrey, a paralegal turned stay-at-home mom who loves true crime. The cases I cover are wild, topics may be triggering, viewer and listener discretion is very strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. With all that being said, grab your hot Cheetos and let's get started on today's case. The media has dubbed this lady the babysitter from hell. I like to call her a real life llorona. During her formative years, Christine was known to take cats that did not belong to her to the rooftops of buildings and intentionally throw them off to their death. If there is anything that is a telltale sign for a future serial killer, it's this exactly. Animal cruelty is very common amongst serial killers. Christine killing cats would become a not so subtle foreshadowing of what would come in her later years. When she was not throwing cats off buildings, she was strangling them. She told people that she was, quote, testing out their 9 lives. In a wild twist of fate, Christine Falling was born Christine Laverne Slaughter on March 12th of 1963 in Perry, Florida. When Christine was born, her mom, Anne, was only 16 years old, and her dad, Thomas, was 65 years old. Christine was born with frontal lobe epilepsy that required her to take daily powerful medication. As any man sick enough to marry a minor is not okay in the head, but even more grotesque was the fact that he would sexually abuse Christine as well. The sexual abuse came hand in hand with physical abuse. Her dad once beat her with a bottle so badly that her mom had to rush her to the emergency room. Upon arrival, her mom told the hospital staff and investigating officers that Christine had been in a car accident. A car done run her over. I didn't get the license plate, Anne Slaughter told them. After Anne Slaughter abandoned her 2 young daughters, Christine and her sister Carol, at a grocery store, they were adopted by Dolly and Jesse Falling. When she was 14 years old, her parents arranged for her to marry a 23-year-old man whom some sources report was a stepbrother. This relationship was tumultuous and filled with domestic violence. The marriage only lasted 6 weeks. The breakup sent Christine down a spiral and she became a hypochondriac. 50 trips to the hospital, and doctors couldn't find anything wrong with her physically. When she reached adulthood, she found work babysitting her friends and neighbors. On February 25th of 1980, she was hired to babysit her neighbor's kid named Cassidy Johnson. Cassidy would become sick with a high fever and was rushed to the hospital. The doctors initially diagnosed her with encephalitis. However, the coroner would later determine the cause of death for this homicide was brain swelling from blunt force trauma to her skull. When questioned by authorities, Christine said that the baby fell from the crib, and although very suspicious of her, they didn't have enough evidence to charge her. And although it is reported that Christine had a low IQ, she was smart enough to leave town and moved to Lakeland, Florida. And wouldn't you know, she continued doing babysitting gigs there as well. In the summer of 1980, Christine soon found work with the Davis family and started babysitting their 4-year-old son, Jeffrey. When Jeffrey's mom returned home, he was not breathing. They called the ambulance and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. The autopsy report would indicated the cause of death to be a pre-existing heart condition. Further analysis, however, would indicate that the heart inflammation was not enough to cause Jeffrey's sudden death, and his death would remain a mystery until the truth was later revealed.